Smile. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday afternoon call. And today is May 22nd, 2024. Getting to the middle of the year. A lot of things have still been happening. We're constantly on the go, and we're always learning. And today is going to be, hopefully for everybody, a real fantastic learning experience. Because what we're doing right now is we are working fully with a CRM protocol, and we've noticed that people have been having different situations that can be hopefully corrected today, giving you more information. So we're all learning, I'm learning, and everybody else here is learning too. So today, hopefully, once we get through with this, you can keep the recording, which I'll put out later, and then use it for reference every time you need it. But this is something to help you get going and then help you with your new students that come in. Okay, so I thought we'd start right from the beginning, and then later on I did a short video because of the fact that if I showed everything here, I wouldn't be able to record it online, and YouTube, they would kick it out. So I did it, especially myself, and I edited it. But to start off with, CRM, that is our go-to for the leads and for everything coming to the business sites during the week, the training, everything's in there. But for the purpose of today, we want to go over how to actually get people started with the CRM, and we'll go there. So have your questions ready for later. I don't know everything, that's for sure, but somebody here may be able to answer your questions. We'll all remember, we're all together here learning. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is share my screen now, and just let me know if you can see it. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, great. Okay, so very important. You can take notes, but you're going to have this video, so you'll be able to read it off the video. And I enlarged the screen too, so you could see the text better. Number one, very beginning, you're an instructor and you're getting a new person. You have a new person, just like they said last night, how many were there? New 13, 15 new ones. We get 15 to up to 30 a week. And in no time, within a couple of weeks, they'll probably be on getting into the CRM. So you want to really make sure you know how to get them into the CRM. Okay, so thanks to Kathleen Metzler, I have this outline here. I had an outline which was, like 5 or 6 sentences, but she really broke this down, which is awesome. I haven't had a chance to look at it myself, but let's look at it together. Okay, adding a new student with PBS. Now, first of all, you have the new student. So you go into the CRM, search using first and last name. You know how that is, up on top left. Then the phone number, and then the email. Okay. First and last name should be really good, but you want to wait no matter what you put in there. Now, I found out if you put a person's name in and there's already 4 or 5 other names underneath it, just click your space bar. That'll get rid of all the names underneath the name you just put in the search bar. Okay.
Can I add something here?
Oh, sure. Hey, go ahead.
Ask the student if exactly how they signed up, because I had one today that came in with a middle name, and her name would not come up until I put that middle name in there. So she was in there, and I would have created a duplicate card had I not asked her that. So you won't see it, and you really have to wait and be patient, because especially lately, it's taking a huge amount of time for the thing to do its little search.
Yeah. You have all that? Of course, that's why, like I was saying before we started recording, when I talk to people and BRT and everything, and as soon as they sign up, I tell them, here's what you need before we do, let's say, session 1. Okay, so I say you need your email, specifically for this business, because you don't want your emails to commingle with your personal email and get it all messed up. So they understand that. And since we partner with Google, I say you need to have a Gmail, not a Hotmail or Yahoo, but it's got to be a Gmail. So now they have that Gmail that they'll be using for everything from that day forward. And then, of course, get on Zoom and have WhatsApp. But what you also want is to verify their information that they gave you, their first name, last name. And a lot of times I ask them, what did they like to be, called? If a person is, James, do you like to call Jim, for example, whatever. But you want their official whole name, first name and last name. Some people go on and on too. They have a first name, then they have a middle name. Well, if you just put the first name and the last name, you don't put the middle name on there, then you still won't find their name. So it's got to be complete. Okay? Does that sound good, Donna? Yep.
Yes, and that is exactly why I suggest searching with the email. It's a lot less frustrating. Because that way, if you have duplicate names, like there's tons of John Smiths, if you just put in the email, then you're only going to get one answer.
Boy, is that the truth. I just this week had a person's name, Carol, somebody or other, and 8 names came up, the same name. I said, oh my God, At first, they're stupid. I was going by each name to see if I could verify, especially when I was crossing over from Trello to CRM, and that took me the longest time. And then this came up, about the email, and I'm saying, why the heck didn't I just put the email in? It would have saved me a lot of time. But sometimes things happen. And but you're right, putting the email in, if you can't find it. I don't know about the telephone number. I never have much luck with the telephone number, but between the first name and especially the email, like you said, Donna, it'll get you right to that one person, then that would be the way to go. But try their first name. And again, like I said, and Donna said, be patient. Okay, it's taking a while because remember, there's thousands of names in the CRM now. And you want to be able to have it come up. And if you remember, put their name in and there's a bunch of other names underneath it, just click the space bar and it will get rid of those other names underneath it. Or just because when you you put their name in the search and then the blinker is right at the end of the last letter. If you click the space bar, it'll move it over and then it'll activate it. So that's, a little tip to help you. Because if you see their name there and a whole bunch of names underneath, you're going to be waiting all day because it's not going to change. Okay, so if the name's not found, either follow, she had something else above, but personally, I didn't understand it myself, so I just got rid of it. So if either do what's up there or above, or create a new card. So you fill out all the information as follows. Note this may change as we work out bugs. So true. Okay. First is the status. It says choose from the drop down. You're in to create a new file, right? Or a new card. So status, choose from the drop down. The source, all right, you want to look for the source. And it says P or Prague age or SD or 101 or whatever. I don't know, Donna, in reference to this,
Yep.
they can put family or friend also, right? If it's somebody that is brought in not from any.
don't put write-ins in there. Just use unassigned.
Whatever's there.
Here's, make sure the important thing is though, if it says Prog H or Prog C, that you send them to the specialist, the appropriate specialist. Now, let me go ahead and see if I can find the phone numbers real quick so I can go ahead and give you those, just in case you don't have them already. For Prog H, the number for the specialist is 1-800-313-4116. And for program C1, it's 1-833-207-3619. So make sure that they have talked to the specialist if they're either one of those two. Anything else, go ahead and process them.
What was the last one? This Prog H, and then Prog what?
C.
C as in Charlie.
Yes.
Okay. Way back when this first started, and Rory was talking about it, he had said anything with a Prog H or Prog C, since they're not just coming in for the first time, like if you're on Goya, then fine, you would send them to that telephone number. But coming from us, that's already in the system. That means they've already been through Prog H and they've gone to step 2, and that we should put it as a 101. Is that an understanding on your part or not? Because they've already obviously been through Prog H, and that's just their title. But now they're with us, and we have to consider it as the second step.
That's if you're on Goya, you need to make sure that you send them to the
specialist.
The specialist. You know what? I'm not sure about that. I still ask if they have talked to a specialist, and document whatever their answer is on the cards.
What we're doing right here is this is a new lead, though. So being that it's a new lead.
All right, but if they're in there, if you find them,
yeah,
it could have been a new lead from today. You don't know. Or it could have been new lead from yesterday.
Yeah, well, that was my question from weeks ago, so that would be good to find out exactly what to do.
If the date that they got in was longer than 2 weeks ago, I'd say go ahead and process them. But if they're our new lead, if they're real new, then I would still ask them to see if they had spoken to a specialist at any time and put it on the card.
Yeah, okay. So again, the Prog H is 1-800-313-4116. 1-800-313-4116. And Prog C is 1-833-207-3619.
Correct.
Excellent. Okay. And hopefully everybody wrote that down now. You probably won't need it much, if at all, but at least you'll have it for reference. So now that was the source part of it. That's right at the beginning on the top. Assigned, that you're moving over to the right now. So on the right, it says put your name in if you are the instructor, or assign it to the proper person. Okay, well, this is your person you're talking to. You're making a new card for them. Now, this would be after you've done a BRT with them, okay? Because really, if you didn't do a BRT, then you're not supposed to assign yourself to it. But if you talked with them and you're assigning yourself, just over on the right, you can click the down arrow there, or you can just put in a couple of your initials. I just put like TH for Thomas, and then all the THs come up and then I see my name and I just click on it and it populates that box. Okay, that's the assigned box. Any question on that? Okay, now, again, you want the name, you want the first name, you want the last name, and remember the first and last name is also the company name. So we have the first and last name up on the top and a few rows down closer to the bottom of the index there, you see another place where it says company and you put their name in there too. And of course, you put their full street address and the position you live blank. It's always good to get as much information as possible, the city, their email address, their state. Of course, they won't have a website, but you can do that later once they join. This is setting up a brand new card now. The country is blank. So what you have to do is click on the down arrow and go all the way down the list. If you whip all the way down to the bottom, you'll come across the United States. And so then that's what you put in there. And
Tom,
yeah.
I think we should ask how many people, if there's anybody who has not been in the CRM that don't know what this looks like.
Okay, you heard it,
Is
folks.
there anybody so new that they have not been in the CRM?
Where this is new to you.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah, that'd be definitely great to see.
Andrew's just coming back. All right.
So you're not
Todd?
familiar with this aspect, Andrew?
No, he's
I
not.
missed it.
He's just coming back. Do you think we could do a quick screen or do a half and half with the CRM so they can see the blanks?
Okay, which just got caught on camera.
Oh,
Okay, so I can't do that without bringing up a whole bunch of names. We'll do that after. Oops, now I lost my page.
I got you. I got you.
Oops.
Yep. Because this goes through YouTube, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I just snapped on their names.
Okay.
Okay, what was I talking? Okay. We'll do this, and then when we get off, we'll come back to it. Okay, just write that down, Andrew, and remind us. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So you got your country in there. Now the phone number without spaces, or the one, you don't need the one in there. You got the zip code. I mean, this is all self-explanatory anyway, but lead value, leave it blank. Now the default language, there's a whole bunch of languages there, and it's a drop-down box in that section. So you click the drop-down box, and you go all the way down, and trying to remember. Anyway, it's on the left-hand side, and you can click on English. It's underneath some other country, and I usually know what it is. And okay, so then you go, the company again is what you already pasted in from the beginning, from up on top with their first name and last name. You put it in the company. That's the block you put it in. Then description really isn't too much description. There isn't any description at this point. So you can leave that. But what I do is after I've talked with them and made notes, I copy the note and then I put it back in the description here, as well as in the note section that you go to, just to have it there. And
yes,
yeah.
I think you had a highlight that anything that you put in that description is not going to be seen when you convert it to a customer or a staff member. So if there's something really important in there, like say they were in once before, maybe they had an old PBS or something. If you want to copy that and paste it into a note, the notes are able to be seen as you convert them to higher levels. So if there's
Wh-
something in that original description that you want to save, always put it in the notes so that it'll be easily viewed when you convert them to staff.
They'll show up in the customer section and then up into the staff.
Exactly. Does that make sense? Anybody have questions on that? Some of you haven't been there yet, but we can help you through, when you get there.
Yep. Then the next box says PBS Vortex, and just leave that empty. Right now, actually, when we're doing this, yeah, you choose no in there. Okay, and there's a box that says PBS Vortex, yes or no, just hit no. Then the IP, you leave it blank because we can never find out people's computer's IP. WhatsApp, and when it comes to WhatsApp, which is the very bottom of that left-hand side of that card, you choose enable. So you click on it and choose enable in the WhatsApp. Okay, then you click save. Now it says, like we were just talking about, go to the notes and copy the description information that we were just talking about up here and put them in the notes for the reason that Donna just said. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is getting deeper involved, which we wouldn't have at this time really. But if a PBS student who has Google AdSense had the text file to notes, you don't have to worry about that with brand new people because they haven't gone into the PBS yet, so they wouldn't have Google AdSense. But
that was more for when we were moving people's information from Trello to the new CRM.
Oh, true. Yes, yes.
So that's what that was.
I see. And you can always go back and add it later too if you wanted to, if for new ones. But yeah,
Yep.
that's a good point too. I don't know when this was done, so obviously that makes sense.
Will this list be available after today?
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing the recording right now, and I'll put it out after I can get it assembled for you.
Thank you.
In the WhatsApp chat. Okay. Go back to the profile. So you click on profile. Now,
there'll be a little green button at the top that says convert to customer. Make sure that you have all the notes in there first. And then when you hit convert to customer, it has little buttons that come up and ask you, do you want to convert the notes? Say yes. Or you click the box at the bottom.
yeah. Yeah. So that box is the convert to customer is about an inch long, so you can't miss it. It's not a little green spot, you'll be able to see it. But that's right. You make sure you got all your notes first done up, and then you go from notes, you go over to the left side and say profile, click on profile, and then it'll bring up the whole sheet again. And then on the top right, it'll say convert to customer. You click on that. Because you're working that lead, and especially if you talked with them, which is most important, then you're a customer, then they're your customer, so you want to convert them to a customer. That way it takes it out of the lead column with all the other leads and makes them specifically assigned to you. And you review the information, you scroll to the bottom, all the way to the bottom. There's a whole bunch of information between the top and the bottom, and it's just the information you already put in. So you just go all the way to the bottom, and then you can generate a password. And over on the right side, you can click on the eye so you can see what the password is. And then depending on the situation, I mean, I do it after I, really do a BRT and stuff. But if I don't bother with a password myself. All right, because they change later anyway. But on the bottom, it says.
Speaking of the BRT, always put the BRT in the notes so that you have it for easy viewing later.
Definitely. I mean, it's common sense, and that's what we tell you every day. But for the brand new people, especially, no matter what you do, talking to the people, you always want to document it. Okay. No matter how small it is, the information is 1 or 2 words. I call them, no answer, you put in the notes or whatever. Always document your activities. Now, you also underneath that generate your password. There's 3 different boxes, but you put a check mark. Do not send welcome email and transfer lead notes to customer profile. There's 3 boxes, but these are the bottom 2. This one and then one on the bottom. So there's a check mark in front of that, check mark in front of that. You'll understand when you see it later too. It makes it easy, obviously, to see. Then you click save. On the customer's detail, choose the appropriate group. Okay. Now, then you click save. The appropriate group
Is a student pending PBS is what you should choose.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what else you wrote after that to see if that was in there. So, yeah. So student pending PBS would be more times than not what you would put in there, or student pending BRT would be another one. If you haven't completed the BRT with them and you're going back, that's actually, what I do, but there's not too many of those, but, because you're just going to update it anyway. So then go to the custom fields. Let me see, put in your name. If this is your student, if you are assisting others, use their name. So you put your name in the assigned spot for the student. And then you also can put your instructor's name there and even your MSI. Okay, so then now there's 3 people that are assigned to that one person. So if something happens that you need help, maybe technical difficulties or whatever, then if you can't do it, other people that you assign to that can help you with it. They have access to their card. Okay. Now, what's this? Add in Velavita username per Roy. So now this is again for people that have actually transferred over from Trello to here, people that have been in the program. If they join Velavita and they have a Velavita username, that's what you want to put in this block. Okay. Underneath that is they're looking for a count. I have yet to know what that means, but Rory said put a 10 in there. So
that's the number of affiliate Velavita people that you might have. Like say that you talk to somebody and they can't get into PBS, for another couple months. Mm-hmm. You can add them as an affiliate in Velavita and give them a username and password for Velavita. That will hold them under you in Velavita.
Right, but what's the count
you can do
for?
That if you it doesn't matter. They're not really officially keeping track of that right now.
Right. So that's what I mean. Just as well, just put 10 in there and just go forward. Because I thought maybe it was the number that's associated with the people's name in Velavita. We have like 4 digits and
no, it's not.
It's not.
It's just the number of affiliates that you might have. And he said just use 10 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you put in the SHG URL. Now it's got to be the whole link, not the username. The whole HTTPS and all the rest that goes after it, the official URL that can get you there. Now, and here is what we were talking about earlier, is to enter the birthday. That way we know their birthday, and with your card, we know your birthday, so that would help out a lot. Also, and this was stuff that we had gotten transferred over that we used to put on the Trello card always, all this information below. Emergency contact, who you want to have an emergency contact. If you can't do the business for a certain time, or whatever. And the emergency contacts phone number. If they have memes, add the link to the memes.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a
click send.
place for links. Now,
Yeah.
I have added most of this information to the roster. I just did. So if you guys could go in there and fill that out for your instructor so they can add that to your cards in the CRM, that would help us out a lot. You just never know when there's going to be an emergency, when those beneficiary names or emergency contact names come in handy. And we've had situations, probably 5 or 6 of them here in the last 2 years. So there may be money sitting in one of your accounts, and we might be able to help them, access that.
The more information, the better, folks. Help us
Yeah,
all out.
that's really important to have that on there. So
Yeah.
look at that roster, make sure you filled out all the information needed so that your instructor can have a complete card. Also on the admin,
Which roster is that? You have
the
the link to put
team
in?
roster is, yeah, I'll put the link in there too. Good idea, thanks. Where it says add yourself as admin, that's the fourth thing across on the customer. After you convert it to customer,
Mhm.
You have the custom fields, and the first one is or the details, and then the custom fields, and on that sheet, then it's got all of those emergency contact and everything. As you scroll down the page, they need all of that. Then there is clicking on billing and shipping, and you want to just click on copy so that it copies that.
Yeah, the
If it's the
top right
same,
hand side says
yeah, if it's the
copy
same
info. You just
info.
click on it. Mhm.
Yep. And then the last one on the right is admin. It's extremely important that you add your name in there, also your instructor, as well as your MSI. Put my name in there as well. That gives us access to the cards so that we can help you if you have problems with something. So that's really important. So you have to have your name, your instructor's name, and your MSI's name as admin. You can add as many people as you need to on there. Okay.
Which of course should have been done earlier too, but I thought on this particular part of it, it was only one person's name. In this section of the card.
Under admin, no, the admin you can add 4. Now you're talking farther up. When you're on the second, it is customer details.
Mhm.
That's where you add your name, where it says assigned to. Let's see.
Yeah.
Vortex, go down, convert to customer details. Okay, the first one, the first column is customer details. Then you choose the group. The next one is custom fields, and then that's where you enter your name as the assigned person. And then underneath that, if they're not brand new, then that's where you're going to put their username and the Philly account SHG. But it also has a place for their birthday, emergency contacts, and memes. After you click save on that, then you go to the next one to the right, and it's billing and shipping. You just click on copy, and then you click save at the bottom of that. And then the next one over is admin.
Right.
And that's where you're going to add yourself, your instructor, and your MSI. It looks like there's only a place for one name, but you can put in there as many names as needed.
Yeah, it's not as clear as, up on top. Okay, that's good. And then you move to the next one to the left, which will bring you back up to the where they are, the appropriate group. And that's when you again put in the pending PBS student or
Yeah,
whatever
that's
group
right.
they're in.
Right.
So that's done twice.
On that last line, Tom, put in parentheses, put add yourself, your instructor, and your MSI.
Right down here.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right, so that's the name of that tune. Any questions on that? I know it could be confusing when you're just looking at it here, but again, we'll go over a real card so you can see. We'll try to get somebody that's brand new, or we'll work it out. Any questions on this? Because this is important. This is the beginning of everything.
Canceled across the country due to pro-Hamas protesters. Is it okay? Definitely not okay.
Lucille, need to mute.
I'm sorry, my phone just brought up a ad of some sort.
One thing that is not mentioned on here that's extremely important. There is on that first sheet, so scroll way up. There is underneath the description, right under the description, add a line in there, Tom, 17B.
Oh, down here.
Right there. Yep, add a line and put a date. There is a little line that says, I have contacted this person. You're going to put, you're going to scroll over to the right side of that line, and there is going to be a little calendar.
Hold on a second. Okay, let's do 17B.
Yep.
And then what are we doing there?
That's where you're going to put the date contacted. That is extremely important, especially if it's a new lead, because, or if it's leads that you're working on in there, because actually star that, highlight it, whatever. That is one of the most important things to do. If you don't, that's gonna cause all kinds of issues. There is a calendar at the end of that line. And if you just click on the calendar and then click on the date, it'll already be highlighted. It will timestamp it in there for you.
Yeah, no matter what time it shows, once you click on the date, it will register your exact time. For example, let's say it says 11 o'clock and you were talking to them at 10:53. It will show the 10:53, not the 11. It does the exact time.
Yep. So that's really, really important, guys. That's the first thing that you should look for, because that really kind of makes it yours as well. Because there have been times when there's 2 or 3 people working on the same lead at the same time. You want to timestamp that thing and with the date, because it is an open database. It just helps keep things organized.
Excellent, excellent. Any questions?
This is Elizabeth Rockhead. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi. I have a question, and I haven't done any marketing yet. And I'm kind of familiar with this since I have gone into CRM.
Okay.
But I haven't done any of this. Should I wait for Rebecca to walk me through, or is this how
yes, let Rebecca stay on here though and watch it, because it'll make more sense to you. Okay. But she will walk you through as well. She is she's traveling right now, so she wasn't able to be here, but yes, definitely wait for her to walk you through that.
Okay, thank you. And next question, how can I get to put my avatar up there, my personal picture on the Zoom?
Yeah, put your personal picture there. Don't use an avatar. And you can do that by going into Zoom, your Zoom account, set up a Zoom account, a free account.
Okay,
It under profile, it will let you add a picture there.
okay,
And make sure you have your first and last name on the account.
okay,
Yeah, just
Okay.
like you see it here on everybody's account. For one time only, though, if you wanted to do it now, you should be able to like click on the three dots up on top here.
The
And
top of your picture.
on this Zoom here? Oh, okay,
what's that?
like that?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
And what,
You got it.
oh, where do I,
Your name is showing already.
my name is showing, but I photograph like how everybody is have their photograph up there?
Okay, you'll have to set up your Zoom account like that. You'll have to fix your profile in your Zoom account.
Okay, I will do that later.
Okay,
Thank you.
Kathleen.
Oops.
I'm just double checking. Somebody, you guys are gonna put that list that Kathleen created somewhere where we can make a copy of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Yep.
Thank you. I just
You're
wanted to
welcome.
be sure.
Well, it helps to have a checklist like that to make sure you haven't forgotten anything.
Yeah, it's a refresher too, even for the people who've been here a while, you know, something to always reference, use as a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to make that
Also,
probably into a
Tom-
PDF and put it back in.
Tom, you ought to add a note to that, to put any important things in notes. And also under when you're creating a note, there is a timestamp there as well. Always put the date on there. Under description, you might want to put
Back up here, under here.
yeah. You might want to put a little star and say add anything important to a note and include the date.
Actually, right here on 22. Right.
Okay, and I'll put the link for the roster in the chat. So if anybody is not on there, please add yourself and your students to that. Make sure you can add a page. If you've got several students, add a new page at the bottom. Put your name on it and then add all your students under there as well. And make sure that they sign up for that. I'll get the link here.
Okay. Should that be it for now? Now I have a short video to show you how to actually, which mostly everybody should know, but we still been having problems as far as when you are doing a lead. It's like, I don't know, 11 minutes.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Actually, let me see something here. I stopped sharing already, didn't I? I wonder. Yeah, share sound. Okay, share. Yeah, I'm showing you this today because recently we've had a lot of problems with the CRM, with people trying to contact other leads only to find out that somebody else has been using them or has already tried to contact them, but it hasn't shown in the last contact. So I'm sure there's some technical difficulties going on, but just to make sure for everybody that's here, I want to go through the simple procedure again to make sure that the last contact is put in. So whatever you are going to work with, you want to make sure that everything is properly done in order. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what leads you want to contact. So you go to the top right here, and that's the filter. So you click on the filter, and you can choose either 101 student lead. You can choose available SD lead, system 1, system B, and you can go down to the particular time zones, the PST, Pacific Time, Mountain Time, Central Time, Eastern Time, and you can also go all the way to the bottom, which says available student instructors access. Okay, so let's just pick one. I'm going to pick one today. Available SD leads system A. Okay, I just saw it change. Now over here it says last contact 48 minutes. So this was done 3 hours ago, and somebody's already doing this 48 minutes ago. So let's go down and see how far it goes. So this whole page, ironically, they all say 48 minutes. Now I had a situation yesterday where I did like 10, and when I updated it, it went to the whole page. So I don't know if we're still having a technical glitch or not. So what I'm going to do is go to page 2 and see what it shows there. And if you look at that, you'll notice that it is all blank. This is the last contact, and it's all blank. Okay, you see? So that should mean that I can choose that. But what I'm going to do, because at this point I really don't know if we're still having a technical glitch, I'm going to page 3. Because I went to page 4 yesterday, there wasn't anything on there, and then somebody else came back later in the afternoon and said that they didn't see any contact, last contact in there, and they started to work and they saw my notes in it. So I want to make sure, especially for today and for this presentation, to show you that there's nothing there. I'm on page 3. So what you want to do is you want to document what you are doing. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to document it. Now if you look over here to the left, you notice for whatever reason sometimes these are not in numerical order. You notice this is 516633, the next one is 516889, but if you look down the whole row, you'll notice that it's every other number is the next consecutive number. So this is 6633, go to the next 2 down is 6634, 35, 36, 37, and 38. Okay, now the second row says 516889, and then you go skip a row and go down, it's 68890, 91, 92, 93. Sometimes the pages are all right consecutive numerical order, sometimes they're like this, I don't know why. But you want to be careful on what you are working on. Make sure you documented it. I just wrote those numbers down in my book, and that's what I go back. So if somebody calls me, like contacts me or whatever next week or a few days, then I will know by reading my book, okay, where they are, and I won't have to go searching all over here. Because sometimes they'll call you back with just a telephone number, and sometimes you can't get their names with the telephone numbers. So this is a way. They show you when they're training you to make duplicates on the tabs, but this is the way I do it. So you got to your page, okay? You're on whatever page you selected. In my case, it's available SD leads S1. Got to page 3, and that's what I also wrote down in my book. I wrote down available SD leads, system A, page 3. So when I update this, it will I know what page to go back to. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to claim however many you're going to be working. Now, again, see, there's nothing here at the last contact. So theoretically, it should be okay to claim any of these on this page, right? So what you do is you go over to the left and you start claiming them. You click, put a check mark in the box. That's the first one. Then go down to however many you want to work with. You put a check in each box. You go down, 37, 93. I'm going to stop right here. So 51, 68, 93 is the last number I have in my book. I wrote all of these numbers down. Now what you want to do as soon as possible, once you select what you want, is go up here to where it says bulk action. Click on bulk action. Now what you do is you see this says last contact, go right here and click last contact. You click on the calendar. This is 10 o'clock. This is Friday the 17th. You can click on the date or you can click on the time and then click confirm. Okay. I know it's
Then
blurred
this
because I
drop-down
had
box will say, are you sure
covered
you
up.
want to perform this action? You click OK.
The screen is blurred.
That's all you need to do in here. You don't assign it to yourself until after you've done a BRT. Now see, it is working. You just wait, be patient, and it should come back up. When it comes back up, it will come to the first, it'll open up in the first page. Today, I noticed before I was doing this that it was freezing up, so I still think there's some glitches going on. You see, now it says wait or exit pages. Well, if you have to wait, I know it doesn't really do much, so the best thing to do is just to save time, just hit exit page. You see? This is what's been happening recently. So that's, I think, why we all been having conflict working the CRM program. So I just hit reload. And let's wait. You can tell if it's working. It was working, and now these three blocks just stopped again, like it froze. Okay. Something's going on again today, and I did this on Friday. Exit pages again. Let's see what we can do. Hit reload. And hopefully it'll go through this time.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I just went on the
go
on
crazy.
it's working fine.
Names and it didn't show up in the, what was that?
I said I just went on the CRM and it's working fine. It has to be in your area.
Okay. Last transaction, you may want to consider that the program is having a problem and it's not the person that you see who has the notes in there previous to you without any transaction time. Now, here we go again. I don't know what's going on today, but obviously, being a new system, something is happening. I'm going to click on reload. What is this, the fourth time? Then you may think it's okay, but it's not. And it stopped again. You see that? You can see it going, but now it stopped again. So we may just have to stop and wait for it to do whatever it's going to do. Don't know why the page is unresponsive. It says you can wait for them to become responsive or exit the page. Well, obviously, if we waited, we'd still be waiting. And even after exiting the page, it's not working. So we're exiting the
That's
page again.
another reason why it's really important to
something went
clear your
wrong.
history and
Right,
cache
page.
every night, guys.
So let's hit reload again. And you just have to keep doing this until it works. Now I'm going to pause this and get back to it when it finally does come up. Okay, a few minutes went by and it looks like it finally came up. So hopefully everything is updated. Let's go find out. You see when it comes up to the very first page again. And so you want to go back to your filter, go to the one that you're working on. We're working on this one. Wait for it to change. It changed. Remember, we are on page 3. So you go down, hit page 3. And we were doing the top, and there you go. Now you see under last contact, it took it. And it was 9 minutes ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's 6893 was the last person that I put in there. So all of this has now been allotted to me. And that's how you know if somebody is working a lead. Okay? Theoretically, if it's blank, nobody is working it. So the very first thing you want to do is check them, go to your bulk action, click on it, and when it comes back up and you get to the page you're working on, go over to where it says last contact and make sure that there's a time there. It starts off with just now, and then it'll go to the time, you know, for whatever amount of time that it was that you started it. Okay, it all depends on what you click on when it is in the last contact mode. Okay, so that's how you do that, and hopefully this helps you and will stop any further conflict. You know, if anything does develop, don't think it's the person that you ultimately find in there. It could be the glitch in the program. Okay, so be patient, be polite, and let's all work together. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, Tom.
I still was doing it.
Just as you ended that, I just wanted to point out too that when you check the last contact date, you also want to make sure that the status is student, because I've seen situations where, you know, they're customer and they don't have a last contact date.
Well, if they're a customer, they wouldn't be in that particular area. That a customer would be under the particular person who was working that.
Well, not customer, actually, like some other status apart from student, because you want to make sure that all the ones we touch are just students, just to be on the safe side.
Sometimes people forget to convert them, so they could still be there. Yeah, so always look in the card and make sure there's no notes in there. Just double check it. It saves so many headaches. Just for your own good.
Yeah, just make that a habit.
And if you select cards and you get caught doing something else, right, and you're not going to be able to finish all those cards, make sure you go back in there and unassign them so that they get thrown back in the pool. But we don't want to waste these leads. Cost a lot of money for Rory, so you don't want to just leave them hanging there and waste it. So if you're not going to use all the ones you selected, make sure that you take your name off of them.
So Rory last night was saying once it's signed, you know, it's assigned.
Once you do a BRT and stuff, but if you haven't done anything on it, just unassign yourself.
Okay. So before you even do a BRT, if it gets away from you, whatever, and things happen, then you can just go back to where it says assigned, where it had your name in there, and then just click the blank space to make it unassigned.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good to me. How about you, Winston?
Yeah, so I was just going over the leads that I was going to do after the phone call that we went over before the meeting started. Somebody's already gone in there and put notes in all of them.
See that?
But since there's so many of them, I'm just going to go to a different batch and start again. I'm not going to even.
Yeah, exactly. It is not worth
it. No, it's
exactly,
not.
Winston.
But it's like not even an hour or 2 hours, and they jumped in there and took all 10 of them.
You know, and that shows you guys. I really love this team, and I'm going to stress: stay positive. If there's hundreds of thousands of leads in there, if someone comes back and does that, and it seems to be happening quite often, instead of getting yourself all in a tussy and getting pissed off, that wastes your energy. That negative mind thought is just going to waste your productivity. Just move on. There's hundreds of thousands of leads there. Just pick different ones. You know, just brush it off and move on. It's really not worth it, because I'm telling you, I hear people spending an hour fighting back and forth saying I was there first, this was mine, and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? You could have sold 2 PBSs in that amount of time that you were sitting there doing nothing.
True.
Right. And that negative energy just spreads.
And that's why as you saw in the video, I jumped 2 rows instead of just from page 2 to 3. I went from like 2 to 4 and that's what I did today. I said, I want to make sure that nobody is on those pages, because it's happened to me like 2 days in a row last week. And I said, that's when I made the video to let everybody know. Hey,
that's what I thought too. I went to page 17. They found me all the way over there.
Well, I tell you what, honestly, it really is just not productive getting involved. Don't engage in that stuff. Really. Keep your mind focused on productivity, and that's not worth it. Lynn?
Hey, Donna, before we leave that conversation, let me just share what I do to prevent that issue.
Yeah.
So when I go to select the last contact date, when I filter, I click on the little arrow on the last contact date. And what that does is it sorts the last contact date and bring all the blank ones up towards the top.
There you go.
And after I do that, I go to like page 4 or 5, and there's nobody in there. And the likelihood that somebody is going to go get to that is kind of
remote.
Than if you just go to 1 or 2 pages. And you don't have to
scroll. That's a great idea.
And you don't have to scroll page 17, like Winston is saying. You can just go to just click on page 5, page 4, page 6.
Does everybody understand that? Does anybody need more clarification on that? You go up to the top of that column that says last contacted date and click it, and it'll sort all of the leads, and anything that has been contacted already will go up to the top, and you'll be able to scroll down to the bottom of that and just have clear ones underneath that.
Well, it's the other way around.
Or the other way around, right? Depending on which way the arrow is. Yep. Does that help? Anybody have any questions on that? That's a great idea, Lynn.
Donna.
Yes.
I just go to page 900 and some. It said, follow me here. I just dive deep, you know?
Yep. You can do that too.
Whatever floats your boat, right?
Yeah, that's right. Wendy.
I've got a question on the BRT. If someone just cannot come up with the money, or they want to get in the business, but they can't come up with the money, the $100, and you put them into Velavita as an affiliate, can they then change their mind and go back into PBS later?
Yes, they can.
Okay. All
It's
right.
always open for them.
Yeah, if you bring them in as an affiliate through our lead system, yes. Just
Okay.
don't do that. Don't go in the LIS lead
Right.
system. That's for Velavita only. I mean,
Okay, because I think I didn't do that on like 3 or 4 of my people, and I think I'm gonna call them back and tell them about that.
absolutely. Just make sure that you go through the training for LIS first, so you know exactly what's what.
Yeah, I've been watching them do it and stuff, so
That's perfect.
so okay. All right, I just want to make sure if they, changed their mind and wanted to come back over to PBS, they could, as long as we're
Absolutely.
in PBS lead.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the object of it, because then they're under your name. So when they come back, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next year, they'll still be under your name by
Right.
getting them as an affiliate.
When you sign them up as affiliate, then you can invite them to our trainings, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Is that okay? Because then that some people are like iffy. They really want to do it, but they're just like, I don't know if this is a scam or what. But if I can get them in as an affiliate, and then they can come in and go to the trainings and see what we do, that might change their minds.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday nights. I mean, Monday
Yeah.
nights is for them as it is, because they're affiliates of Velavita. And
Right.
then on Tuesday nights, they'll know what we're all about. And the object there is not to lose them, at least get them as an affiliate, but have them come to the Monday and Tuesday meetings and let Rory and everybody convert them to PBS, by being on the meeting calls.
Okay, I'm going to do that today. Is recall those people.
But
Okay,
don't
thank
get
you.
into the habit of doing that. That's what everybody's
No.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because I have like 2 that are really, 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 really want to get in here, but they just
Mhm.
can't.
Yeah, you
They
want to
can't
use
do
your
it.
good judgment, because the object, I mean, everybody that's coming in they don't have money. That's what it's all about. That's the biggest hurdle to overcome.
Yeah.
If they have
Yep.
the money, we'd be getting 2 or 3 times as many people in here as we,
Yeah.
can, but
And it's a mindset as well.
Right.
You've got to, along with finding a way to come up with the 97.95, it's a mindset, because I've seen people sell personal items until they get the amount of money to get in there.
Right.
The 38.95 3 months from now, they'll find a way to do that too.
Right.
So, don't always give them an escape route.
Okay.
That's not what that's meant to be, but
Yeah, I've got one that's just like, I don't know. I just think it doesn't sound right to me and blah, blah, blah. It sounds good, whatever, but I thought if I brought her in as an affiliate and she could see what we're doing, then she can make her mind up better.
yeah, but I wouldn't invite her to more than one Tuesday night meeting if she's in that position. I would tell her
Right.
that she can come back as soon as she purchases their PBS.
Right. But I just can tell that because she's contacted me back and forth. And I just thought maybe if I brought her in as the affiliate, bring her to one training, and maybe that would convince her.
Yep, you can give that a try.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
that's all
Anybody
within
else?
the BRT, to read the people that you're talking to, just listen to the inflection of the tones and everything, because some people use money as just as an excuse, they don't have it. That's why you want to try to also get their goals before you get to that point. What do they really want? What's their why? And the people, some people say, I don't know, I hadn't even thought about it. Well,
This girl has even
have to
read the book already. She's read the book already.
Well,
she's still kind of on the fence.
Yeah, you still have to kind of weed out the people that you think may not be serious, because if they're not serious, if they're not willing to find a way, if they're not that determined, then do you really want to waste your time? That person's gonna probably soak up a lot of time and not be serious. And you could waste 3 or 4 months and all of a sudden they're just gonna say goodbye and they'll be gone. And you could have had somebody who was real serious about building your business. There's enough leads there
Right.
to be picky.
Okay. So I'll just keep going then. Cause
Well, you can get her signed up and let her make the first move. Don't run after her and chase her and try to get her in. I mean,
right.
if she's really serious about making money from home, she'll find a way and call you back.
Okay. I'll just do that then and just keep going forward.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
That's what I would do personally.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, for now, I'm going to stop the recording. I want to thank everybody for coming. We can continue this.
Before you go, are you going to give us that sheet?
I want to, after we stop the recording, we'll go back to your situation. Okay?
And that sheet will be in the WhatsApp chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And again, thanks for coming. We're going to continue this next week too. So people, please get as many people as you want here. Plan on being here. And, you know, we'll go on some more of this next Wednesday. Okay? See you then.